Okay. Okay. Pictures. Okay. Noir. All right. All right. All right. No. All right. Back with another one. Back with another one. I'm just trying to set up some. Yeah. It's been a minute since I vlog stream. But yeah, anyways, I said what I said yesterday. I was a little harsh on the tail end of the live stream. And I have to say what I say, but the LeBron James scandal with the steroids is getting very serious. And I think, you know, niggas kill me with that bullshit under the so-called manosphere. Like they get on my nerves, bro. Like sometimes you gotta pop on 'em and just crack a few heads, say a little rough words with them. And you gotta say what you say. What's going on, Salute? And I said what I said, man. Like, the new microphone that I have now is that's gonna be for that particular one on 2 weeks from now. I'll probably use it for Wednesday's content and I'm gonna make it standard and I won't use it more often. I mean, I like my other mics, don't get me wrong. I like the hypercardioids and the things like that. I'll use them for certain purposes, probably in certain recordings as well. If I want to do a different type of recording, I have some ideas I want, but the Wednesday stuff, I'm going to talk about current events, mix a little history, what works, and try to put it in frame what's going on. Because I saw some planes yesterday. I think they came in Georgia because they had like a little meeting and they said Biden and Trump is here because of the election or some shit. But I think I went out yesterday, got something to eat and whatever, and was talking to my pops, and that's pretty much normal now because of security. Now I did just see Sky News talking about TikTok being banned from the U.S., but they're not banning the whole thing, but they're banning the Chinese data aspect. So what they're trying to do is they'll keep it. Here's what they try and tell the owner. They try and tell that owner of China to sell it. That's what they're trying to do, and I think the Chinese might sell it because we don't know which billionaire is going to own it. See, Elon Musk did a good job reinstate the people that lean towards the right in the what you call it in they're really fake conservatives, they're actually racist liberals, but they get reinstated by Musk, right? Musk is a Malachite Edomite, so we ain't gonna say the other word because that's what he is. He has the space network. The only reason Twitter and all these other stuff, and she said Martin Taylor Green, whatever her name is, she said they're not banning all these platforms. No, they just want to regulate stuff. So when you regulate things, you regulate what y'all call social media, but I call it social networking. But you're networking. The media aspect would be like YouTube or anything. They're not doing that. They already got surveillance on all of them. It's just TikTok is not surveillance under the U.S. They're surveillance by another country, and it's illegal. They're not paying taxes, and they're gonna try to embargo that to get people. They got a lot of users. They have a lot of million users. Most of them users are female. Y'all do know that, right? They are female. That's just the thing. So when you're talking about content creation and things like that nature, you got to look at the big picture of what we're talking about here. So I understand why people do not like TikTok. I don't care for TikTok either. And I just saw a video early in the morning, around midnight-ish, to this day, early in the morning. Even though I was trying to go back, I went to bed at 1, but got up at 5. But you know how it is. Get used to this daylight savings time. But that don't matter. I'll be back on regular schedule, probably with my mind and get used to things and the time. But it's actually good. It actually helped me yesterday prepared, and I was ready to do that stream, and I got over it. It was a minute. It was an hour and 11 minutes, and I had to say what I had to say, but I had to be prepared for what recording was going to look like. So the Wednesday recordings is going to start next month. I ain't gonna start it this month because this month is damn near almost gone. I'm just chilling in March, but the April I'm gonna thrive and say a lot. I'm not gonna say a lot of historical stuff, but we're gonna focus on the main stuff. Just put a picture up, and then I'll have another thing open up and just read y'all. So give you the idea and the gist how I'm gonna do Wednesday's content. I'll record as much as I can on the historical stuff and then come back around and tell y'all on camera and what I think. You know, I'm gonna be cammed up for that Wednesday. Y'all gonna see a lot. And I'm gonna use the microphone I use for Sunday dailies. And the last Sunday dailies we're gonna do is the 52nd or something like that. But the Easter Sunday edition, I'm not doing that again. You're not gonna see a Sunday dailies recording. Just be mindful of that. I'm gonna do something totally different. I'll probably give y'all a vlog stream or something that Monday or whatever, or probably something. I might get you something. I don't know about the weekend, but we'll see. Because that weekend is kind of off. So yeah, that weekend is about off. But April, that whole April, I'm gonna get used to it. April Fool's Day and all that. But I saw another video today. Shouts out to this guy. He calls himself the commissioner. He's funny as hell. But he said both sides are wrong about the generational shit, like with the basketball. He said, we're through with the 90s. That's that TikTok. They're casuals. And he would love to debate them. Yeah, they're casuals, and I agree. They're all casuals. They haven't a lick of game. I played the game of basketball for many years, and I ain't played since 2012, and that's a long time. That's decades ago. I still got a little jump shot there and there, but I've been inactive for playing it since probably 2012. That's a long time. That's the last time I was in a open gym full court, you know, with shoes. I ain't got the gear with me like I used to. I got the shoes, I got the attire, but I just need a basketball. I touch a basketball in a minute. It's a long time. I'm probably a little rusty, but if I get my shots back up, I'll be where I need to be. I have a mid-range, good shot, and that's it. Them days is gone past me, but he was right. Like a lot of generation, these young kids haven't seen the 90s. And they talk bad about Jordan. The only reason they talk bad about Jordan, they never seen him play and they never lived in that era. They don't understand what the 90s was. And the 90s as a kid, oh, I saw everything. And I actually went to an NBA game preseason back in the day in 99, around 2000. We're talking about around the fall of 99. We're talking about early October before my sister was born. This is after lockout. And this is when I saw John Stockton and Karl Malone live, and then around Antoine Walker. Now, the first time I seen Antoine Walker, he's a big dude. He's 6'8". Came in when the Preds had their arena, right? He came in that door. The first one came in the door. He's Ukrainian, but he went to Wright State. His name was Vitaly Potapenko. Big Ukrainian center. I think I told y'all this before on certain streams. He was 6'10". He ducked his head in that door. Big old Ukrainian. First time I seen a Ukrainian foreign player. He was playing the Celtics at the time. He used to play for the Cavaliers too with Ilgauskas. But see, I can remember like the teams they were on yesterday. And then I got the old cards, like tell you how old I am. But I told you I lived through that. So Antoine Walker was good. He was good. He was good. And that's just what it is, you know. And I don't understand why people don't understand that the world doesn't evolve around these damn casuals. They don't know nothing, you know, especially on TikTok. And I'm glad they're going to try to ban the Chinese data off of it. They'll never get rid of it. You got some politicians wishy-washy about TikTok. I call it, you know, shit talk. But, you know, still disgusting. But it's a lot of female users on there. So they're panicking right now because of the data. Are they going to do that to every other site? Everything is not social media. I'd say YouTube is a video sharing site. What you call so-called media is actually networking, because what you call Twitter is now X now. It's actually social network, just like MySpace. Those are networks. Your network with people you're talking. You ain't got no videos on there. They just added videos. They're trying to compete with YouTube. YouTube's video sharing competition is really Rumble, and the ones that folded and the ones that didn't fold, they don't get enough traction, like Metacalf. It's a lot of stories. It's a list if you go by the wiki. That's their competition, but it ain't really no competition. They're too big to fail. But in reality, Rumble is the only competition left. But you got people, a lot of people say they're not thriving on. They are thriving. They just don't get the respect that they do. But if they have a backing, like a big big corporations, they'll regulate certain things. Just like anything else, I don't think they're gonna regulate it like that. They're gonna keep it like it'll have regulations like Twitter. But if Elon ever owns Rumble, it'll be like Twitter. You can say what you want. You gotta be careful though. So I'm gonna be careful with Rumble because I can say what I want and be crazy. They just need a little features to get back in. You know, I just don't get why people don't realize that that's part of the internet. So when you're dealing with people that's on TikTok all day, they're lames. So what they get into, they don't worry about the big stuff. You know what I'm saying? I just don't understand why y'all want to put your information out there. Now, most of these people that be on YouTube that has a TikTok account, those are TikTok users. Those are not YouTubers. They've been on YouTube for like several years, but they ain't really about that. TikTok's one of the worst inventions of all time. It's one of the worst. And an Australian guy was promoting it back in the day before the pandemic. I forget his name, but he's the reason why TikTok's trash. He's the reason why the evasiveness is bad. And now I'm talking in a political sense, they're going to try to ban that shit. And they're having the thing right now on Sky News. You can watch it on Sky News. But the thing about it is, you get these things going, you know what's about to happen. So that's the thing, I know the ground is kind of wonky over here because trees are cut. You know how it is. I had my trees cut past a couple of months ago. It's getting bad out here. Leaning, made some adjustments in the backyard, so you know how that go. But in reality, that's what it is, man. Like everybody just don't like TikTok like that, And I found this one dude. I think he said Legion of Men. I don't fuck with him. He's part of that mainstream so-called manosphere, that hoe ass shit that y'all like. They a bunch of clowns anyway, but he's a loser. But I liked his video, what he said about the gym. The girls ruined the gym, and he said TikTok. This is all related to why I don't like that site. He said they'll ban you over nothing. Of course they do. It's not an agenda. It's just what it is. They're just retarded. And then China ain't pushing no agenda. They ain't a threat. They're just an ally to America. China likes to steal data and sell it to other countries. That's what America don't like. Because sometimes that data gets sold to different countries. It's not just them holding it. No, they're not going to explain to you that Congress needs to stop lying. They're mad because China can sell data to anybody. They can sell it to Caribbean countries. They can sell it to so-called African countries, dark countries, you name it, Europe, the other enemies that hate on each other. It's all big conspiracies of agencies fighting each other, like small civil wars that don't really matter. Actually, TikTok's right. Why don't they just get rid of it? But they can't find a billionaire that want it. There's plenty of billionaires that want it. Now, one person she said, I don't want Mark Zuckerberg to have it. And her name was, what's her name? Mari Taylor Green. I don't know how to pronounce her first name. Her goofy ass. And she said she didn't like Zuckerberg, so Zuckerman or whatever. She don't even like him. I try to tell you, most people do not like Instagram and Facebook. I'm telling you that right now. It's not about a reach. You just don't fuck with it. I don't fuck with Facebook and Instagram because I already think they lame anyway. Nobody likes neither one of them because it's trash. I never fuck with Instagram and Facebook. Never. The only thing good about Instagram, they got the broadcast rooms with the models and shit. If you're into that, Instagram is the way to go. If you're just be a supporter or a follower, I'm in the cut. See, when I use that platform, I don't give my Instagram out to nobody. I'm just in the cut. I don't care. I'm in the cut for real. And just keep it that way. That's why I have it. I use it for different purposes. Once you're in a broadcasting room, oh man, you're in the cut. Just keep it that way. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how I treat it. I treat it as a tool. I don't use it as I'm not a content creator on Instagram. I don't care for Instagram. Instagram don't make me that much. That's for losers, bro. They're trying to get money. I ain't trying to get money off of Instagram. It's not worth that. I don't like Facebook like that. Now, Twitter, on the other hand, I can do something with Twitter. I'd use Twitter the same way, but I keep it well, known as X now. I use X for different purposes, or I can use it for many purposes. I ain't deleting that. X is my go-to. That I had that since the start of this channel in November of 2012, and I've been on there for decades. So I done seen the changes on that. So Elon did a good thing. I'm keeping that. Once he got that in power, I'm keeping that. But in reality, you know, YouTube is not the end all be all. I tell people that I started out with the older channel and then lost it through some bullshit. But this channel is just a representation of our people, what we go through and fight the system or whatever. That's why I keep it based. Yeah, I'm well balanced in other areas, but other than that, I'm just telling you what's going on. That a lot of that stuff, that political babble, a lot of people think Trump's gonna win. Trump ain't winning shit. They ain't letting him win that because he didn't do shit. Neither one of them did shit. It's about you end of the day. Because Trump, he's a narc. He's a narcissist. Why would you want a man that didn't do shit? Because I remember his years as president when I was working. They didn't help you on everything. Yeah, they did what they wanted to do because his team was decent, but he didn't do nothing as president. So they try to say Biden, no, Biden do something, but Biden does wars. You have to understand, Democrats are what people say they are what they are. That's what conservative Democrats do. They're not liberals. Liberals like Trump give you money so you don't have to waste money. And if you waste money, you're screwed by a Republican. They don't care nothing about you. Now, Bush, he's a conservative Republican, right? He goes by the Barry Goldwater principles. So the Barry Goldwater principles of George W. Bush, he helped some people. Yes, he fucked up the economy just like Biden. And a lot of people try to say they're the total opposite. It's a bunch of bullshit. No, they're not, because both parties have different formalities of what they are. I'll give you an example. Republicans historically are liberal. A lot of people don't know that. And shout out to Cerulli telling me that. And I'm glad he said that, because I don't know why they need to stop calling them conservatives. You call them conservative, you don't know shit about politics. Because first of all, conservatives or Republicans are Barry Goldwater conservatives. Barry Goldwater conservatives are guys that you see like a George Bush. His daddy failed and became one term, but his son did that style, and that's why you see today. And you see him in Senate. You see with John McCain. You see it with various others. Those Republican conservatives do not exist. They're nothing more than Goldwater conservatives from 1964. So it's kind of like here, you have a lot of Barry Goldwater conservatives. And when I say that is a lot of people get caught up with the C on the red, which is not true. 95% of the time, they are liberal. They don't give a fuck about their own. That's why they try and get rid of Trump. Yeah, Trump's a liberal, but he's an exposing liberal. He's like the guy that tells on his compadres and they want him up out of there. They try to stop him with the Nikki Haley. He was going to win that regardless. But the election, they may give it to him. Hey, what's going on, man? What's going on? I mean, excuse me. What's going on, Queen? And salute. And they think they can give it to Trump. But in reality, I don't see him winning another term. Because all that shit on him, I just don't see him winning. The only way he's going to win it'd be a miracle. But the people up top ain't going to let him win that. No. I think Biden's going to cheat and win. So if you say he's going to cheat to win, it don't really matter because they're going to hand it to him anyway. I wouldn't call it cheating. Now, I want to refrain from that. He ain't going to cheat. He's going to have it the way that he already wanted. So when you're pro-Israel, who's pro-Israel more than the two? I say Biden. Biden is more pro-Israel, right? I just said it, the imaginary state of Israel, but I ain't going to get in depth with that. But the land, the Holy Land, right, of those people, those Edomites, right? He wants them to be they have protection, they got resources, they're going to be fine over there. See, what Biden's trying to do, he started a war. Well, actually, it was already started when the October 7th attack happened, but I ain't going to get in depth on that. That was by retaliation, and they had it going back and forth, that the same two groups, right? But don't people understand that I'm going to say, I'm probably gonna have to say Christian Zionists. I ain't gonna say the other word. You know, they're Edomites too, but the 95% of Christian Zionists back the state, or should we say the fake state? But in reality, they know damn well that they're all voting for Joe Biden. Biden's got voters. They don't need our vote. So when George Macon was saying they don't need a black, it has nothing to do with the black vote. Black people's vote don't count no way. Not even the Republican Party. You vote Republican, you're an idiot. You still gonna lose. You know how many people's gonna outvote you? It's gonna put Joe Biden in. It's gonna be more of our females, right? They claim to say they black women, but they really females. They hate being women because they don't know how to be proper women. There's a few women I could say black women in this chat, a few and outside. They're women, they act right. They have a, you know, wherever it is, marriage is good. But we talking about the dudes complaining about in these spaces, they call them the W word, you giving them power. A lot of you fellas out there that's in that totalitarian manosphere, stop calling them the W word. They don't earn it. If you want to call somebody a woman, you gotta meet them. You gotta know them. Like even the ones that's random. She's nice to you. Say, hey, how you doing? Hey, have a conversation. But you got these dudes use it loosely and don't understand the ones you're dealing with. Those are females, or other brothers will say females. That's what they are. They girls. They're not acting like women because see, if they recklessly having kids and having kids upon kids, what's the point of having relationship? But here's the thing: is it our fault? Absolutely. You got to wrap it up or be responsible. They already got the same things we got. They know how to stop pregnancy. See, now dudes want to go the vasectomy route, right? But what about these tummy tucks? I'm going to talk about that just a little bit. I'm not going to go in depth. I've yet to see one get pregnant by a tummy tuck woman. I'm just keeping it real. I have not seen a pregnant tummy tuck woman. Never. Because I think what they do with the stomach or the cervix or some shit is affecting why they're not having kids. Because, I mean, is it possible? Can they have kids? Might not. I don't know. They get big. Yeah, they get overweight and stuff. But can they have kids though? That's the thing. Can they have a pregnant stomach? I have yet to see that. I don't know. I might have to research it. I'll check back with y'all in another vlog stream. I'm not gonna go in depth, but I'm just saying it FYI. I'm not saying they're eunuchs. It sounds like they're eunuchs to me, but in reality, I can't say they're eunuchs. I'll delve in that later because I'm not gonna do it in this stream, but I'll do it on another stream. But I'm just saying, like, I've yet to see one that's, I see all these models want the same type of stomach, and I've noticed there's no pregnancy behind it. The dudes always complain they obsess over, but why don't you get them pregnant? But they can't because I don't know if she gets pregnant or not. That's interesting. That's something to think about. I might have to research that. That's something I got to research privately and just tell y'all what I think. I'm not going to dwell on it on the next. Yeah, they all in the same. Yeah, to my bite and all that. Yeah, they do the same shit. But the tummy tuck thing, I've noticed a lot of dudes are hypocritical about it. But I just don't understand the obsession of hating. You know what I'm saying? And like this one girl on X, on Twitter, she said, what happens if they use diet pills? Yeah, it's a lot of shit. So fellas, man, they competing with y'all too. You taught them these things. That's why these females gonna do what they're gonna do. You call them women, you giving them too much power. That's what feminism is. They want everybody to be labeled as a woman. A real woman, a real traditional woman or a non-traditional woman that does different things, and she could be non-traditional in other areas. But if she's traditional, they have to be with the manner. But what people don't understand about non-traditional and traditional women, they're very different, but they have the woman qualities too. If they're really women and they sacrifice whatever, if they have kids. Now, the nuclear family, I don't agree with nuclear families. I don't mind having multiple wives like the old school way, but we can't have that in this society because they promote monogamy. That's a Western concept. I don't agree with the monogamy because a lot of times people just like when I say relationships, they always end in the divorce. Monogamy is just a Western concept of the so-called white man. I'm just gonna say it right now. I'm not a fan of that, and I don't care. I don't like nuclear families like that either. I like to have families. They have multiple kids. It's cool. You know, it could be one person or two, or whatever. If it was multiple wives, if it's done right, not in a aggressive sexual manner, but a non-sexual manner, you see how they nourish the kids, or whatever, like you see in other communities. Black people used to do that way back in ancient times and other times. But in this modern Western society, they won't let us do that by law because I think there's a reason for that. They don't want, and I'll tell you a secret. There's a limit of having kids too, and I think the max is 10 or something like that. Anything past that, they're just not going for it. And I think that's another reason they want to push this nuclear marriage. Marriage is dead. If you don't talk about marriage, you're talking about nuclear marriage. I'm talking about nuclear families. I'm an example of a nuclear family. Was it cool back then? At first it was, but now it's bullshit. I'll give you an example. My parents is married on paper for 40 years, right? I just say that now. Are they together? No, they separated. Ain't gonna speak on it, but you know, like I said, the emotional labor goes out the window. It's usually the male's tired of it. He don't have enough of it. That usually separates the people or get divorced or whatever. That's why nuclear families is not good. You got to make sure you love the person beforehand. Yeah, if you even date them 5 years before they had me, or you know, a couple of years before they got married, they did all that. So I think the problem is, do you like that person all the way through? That's the main thing. That's why I'm not a fan of nuclear families. They don't usually work unless y'all are cool with certain things. Now, multiple marriages is tough in today's world. I'll tell you why. I understand why people like nuclear families. Is it in all be all? Hell no. Because men designed to have multiple women and have children. That's what we put here to do. Not just the women, but the children aspect to control societies and have civilianship, nations of people. I look at these other nations like Haiti and all that. They don't mind that if it's done right. But other nations don't do that. You know, some of them in other countries believe in monogamy. They're westernized. But if you go to Africa, they still practice multiple wives and all that stuff. I wish we had something like that. But black people is too sensitive because they've been westernized. We've been brainwashed by Esau and them. And that's why it will never work in a setting like a Western setting. This system has to die before that happens. So they can't let you have a lot of kids. They can let you have 10 kids, but after 10 kids, they just cut you off. America's not gonna let you have majority. The reason why there's not multiple marriages, it's the children aspect, and it costs a lot of money and they depreciate over time when they get older. Most kids depreciate when they get older. And I've noticed that when you're a baby, when you're an infant, yeah, you cost more. But after you get a certain age, you depreciate. I didn't think of that, but they do depreciate. Well, here's the drawback. Here's the drawback though. Even though you're depreciating, but you have a social security, you got everything, right? And say if you have a bank account at 18 like I did, right? You still got to be responsible for yourself. By law, you're grown, right? You got to be responsible and have enough money and be part of the society or contribute to society. Next thing you know, bam, you're the asset and now you're home equity. You're not a liability. You could be a liability if you're doing crime. That's how that works here. But that's the thing about the world. So I don't understand why I said yesterday, I said what I said. You niggas complain way too much. You got way more advantages than most of these females, and half of them are broke too. Like you got broke males, yeah, and you got broke females. And it's on the internet. So you can't really blame and take the baby out of the bathwater, they would like most people say. You can't blame that. Y'all gotta stop blaming individuals for y'all's own problems, especially on panels and shit. I stopped going years ago and y'all doing the same circus shit. But I'm breaking it down like I've never seen and I'm just looking at it like, what's going on here? But yeah, I brought my cell phone out here, you know, just in case. Okay, cool. But yeah, it's just like I don't understand why this matters. I think we need to talk about this. I think a lot of people get caught up, not just the internet. You know, a lot of people use the word social media. I use the word social network. Social media is like media aspects like YouTube and all that. I understand why people use it. That's a boomer term. Like I hate the term social media. I just call it social networking, or you're networking with people. You got to be careful what you network. So politics, you can talk about it, but do not go to X for information about countries like Haiti. They try to say there's cannibalism there. That's a lie. That's been debunked. Shouts out to the dude that got interviewed by Kim Iverson on Rumble. And he said a lot of things that I knew 2 years ago Barbecue was doing. I forget his name already, but they respect him in Haiti. The ones that's going against him are haters. It reminds me of a lot of people pronounce him Francois Duvalier or Duvalier. It don't really matter because most people say the same thing. But but if you're hating, you say that's fine. I'll let you say it. It don't matter to me because some people may say something. I ain't gonna get into that argument. But I'm just saying Francois Duvalier or Duvalier, how you want to pronounce it, whatever. He's the guy in Haiti's history. To be honest with you, do I agree what he did? Absolutely not. But to be fair, let's be realistic here. I think he was probably the best dictator they ever had, but he ain't really the best leader. I'm just saying the best dictator that did what he had to do, even though he was, I don't want to say, to me, I think he was control opposition. And the reason he don't get talked as much on the internet is because I think he didn't do what Hitler did. He was public, but he didn't do what Hitler did. So Haiti was one of the countries that got away because Castro was in the way. See what I'm saying about communism and all that? Castro was in the way because Castro was one of them guys who was revolutionary against America. See, Duvalier or Duvalier, how you want to pronounce him, right? It's the main guy. So he's the main guy. I'm going back to the father, not the son, but the father that actually made what Haiti is today. Now you start looking at it. Why is this leader Barbecue trying to get a hold on? See, Haiti has a historical revolutionary past that been tradition. They have problems with leaders. Now, the one that was a doctor, Papa Doc was the original dictator that kind of, they didn't really save Haiti, but he structured it in a way that have a system. So you got to give Papa Doc some power. We're not talking about Baby Doc. We're talking about Papa Doc. Now, Papa Doc was the one that made what Haiti is today. Papa Doc is not perfect by any means. We know that. We know a lot of people say he's evil and all that. I get that. He had the Tonton Macoute. They came out of prison. The Tonton Macoute was rough, right? So you talking about the Tonton Macoute? When people ask, I saw a documentary about him on YouTube. I said, I ain't learned much about him until I saw a channel that talked about him. Now, I mean, that's their perspective, but people got other perspective about him. I'm not gonna get into that. It's irrelevant. But one on YouTube with Papa Doc, I seen that was probably the best you can get on him. It's not that much on him. It's a few things, but it's not much on him. They don't talk about the cannibalism and all that stuff. I don't get into that. But we're talking about why is he so important after Haiti? Because his death, he was riddled with diabetes and everything. Yeah, he's into voodoo and all that stuff. He used it as a weapon. But after that, he was one of the main guys that dictated what Haiti is today. And then I think Barbecue, they say he was a police officer. Someone said in an interview he was a police officer, and I believe it. He was some form of law enforcement. Then he ended up becoming what? A gang leader or a gangster. So basically, Haiti always had corruption issues. Now, does Jamaica has corruption? Absolutely, in the government. You see it all the time. But Caribbean countries, you got to blame the United States was responsible for all the damages in these Caribbean countries because of the money, the financial aspect, the probably a third of what we've given to the other countries. So when you have Haiti being destroyed right now, it's just I feel sorry for those Haitians. And salute to my Haitian brothers that watch this or whoever subscribed me over the years. And shouts out to my Jamaican brothers and sisters out there. Shouts out to y'all and some of our people that has, done well. My mom's been to Montego Bay a couple of years ago. I would say about 5 years ago. She went to a Jamaican wedding. She said it was real nice out there, and her doctor married a Jamaican guy, but it apparently didn't work out. But I'm not gonna get into that. I ain't gonna mention the doctor's name. On salute to them, whatever. But I'm just saying, my mom's been out to out there. Let's just say it like that 5 years ago. 5 years ago, she loved the experiences. She said it's real and all that. She got pictures, and I said, man, that's cool. But that goes to show you who she is as a person. So all I'm saying is just don't lie to the people. Be authentic, be who you are. And no, there was no cannibalism in Haiti. So I've seen people act crazy. And I'm just going to, whatever. Okay. I'm going to step away real quick. I'll be right back. Yeah, I had to step away. I didn't want to play that loud video, bad music. I was on Instagram. Someone posted a broadcast room, like I told you about. Them broadcast rooms is fun. These models, I be tripping off of. I don't set them no money. It's just cool. Instagram, I just like to be an observer, see what they talk about as content creators. To me, I use Instagram for entertainment. I'm gonna be honest. I use Instagram for entertainment, and then I learn about people. That's my thing. It's like in the mall. I'm a people watcher. I study movements, what people are thinking, conversations. That's my thing. And just be cool with it. But that's just my thing. But you got people like that. A lot of people don't like my type of content because I'm outside talking, But this is the best way to get views. I get views afterwards. People start looking and they always talk about somebody cammed up. I'm cammed up all the time on this vlog. So you can't hide from the camera. So that's basically what it is. A lot of people just stop fucking with live streams. But why would you be on panels and argue with people? I ain't got time for that. I don't know you like that. Unless we're in person and we're talking and all that other stuff. And niggas just stand there like little bitches. Like, I ain't got time for that. We ain't doing that. No. Fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? But you got these dudes get online and talk shit. Nerve to talk shit and then get popped in real life, realistically. But then you got 10 Toes Down. I mentioned him yesterday. He's a character. I don't take him serious, but him and Zip, they go at it back and forth. That ain't never going in. And he's still on floor with him. But so yeah, a lot of this stuff, it's just the filthy section done got larger and larger, and then people just gave up on people. But once you start talking about things, you start getting into the motions of what's what and what's on here. So I know today is Wednesday, and I'm just understanding that what's going on. So a lot of people just get caught up, man. Oh, that I did that. Okay. Okay. Make sure. Yeah, I got my cell phone. I got everything with me. I'm on ice right now. So, anyways, I'm just speaking my mind, and everybody's talking about the TikTok getting banned from the U.S., but in reality, they're trying to tell the TikTok owner from China to sell it to American billionaire. So in reality, they're going to try to sell it into a way that everybody can't do TikTok and things like that no more, and they can't really maneuver around and things like that. So when you're dealing with TikTok, when you're dealing with things like that nature, and I think the problem is people get caught up saying a whole bunch of BS. Now, I forgot to tell you about this law in Georgia. My dad told me about this law about cars and cell phones. 95% of it, females be on their phones and they be distracted. They call it the driver's distracted. I think distracted driver law. They said this distractive driver's law. I believe that's what it's called. That's a new law in Georgia. If you drive, you can't have a phone in your hand. That's a ticket. So I might have to look it up and see if I'll confirm what he's saying. NBA makes an announcement after the Milwaukee Bucks versus blah blah blah. Gives a shit about that. I'm gonna post that somewhere. Okay, I might save it. I'll put it where my boy is. I don't see that driver's law. Like, I don't say distractive. It's a ticket in Georgia. Okay, distracted driver's ticket in Georgia. Get your ticket dismissed. Full refund. We didn't win. Snap a photo of your ticket. Blah blah blah. Georgia's traffic lawyers. We terminate your ticket. Attorney Mike Hawkins or whatever. This fine is $100 and then 2 points for a second conviction. 152 and 150 is 2 points for a second conviction. The first one's $100. The first one's $100. Okay. Then the second is 2 points for a second conviction, 150, and 3 points for 3 more convictions. Okay, let's read this in Georgia law. Drivers may listen to streaming music that does not include videos on the screen of their phone or device while driving, but cannot touch their phones while on the road to the active or program any music streaming app. Streaming music that is controlled by listening through the vehicle's radio is allowed. Drivers who need to touch their phones to activate program their music streaming apps must do so before getting onto the road. That's what they're saying. That's what they're saying. Let's read this from the beginning. Let's read this for the beginning. I'm not making this up. It's in the state of Georgia. If you live in the state of Georgia, but the ones that's listening and whatever, I'm just gonna put this FYI. You can get this from GAHighwaySafety.org. They passed this law in January. My dad was saying, okay, drivers cannot have a phone in their hand or touching any part of their body while talking on their phone while driving. Even with the hands-free technology, they say even with the hands-free technology, drivers cannot write or read or send text messages, emails, social media. They use the word social media, content, talking about SM content, and other internet data while on the road. Voice to text is allowed. They said voice to text is allowed. They let you voice text. That means you talk through a voice text. They let you do that. And here's the thing: drivers cannot watch videos when they are on the road. See, that's like TikTok. They're actually going after TikToks. Navigational GPS videos are allowed. So drivers cannot watch videos when they are on the road, but navigational GPS and videos are allowed. See, they let you have a GPS. That's allowed. Drivers cannot use their phones or electronic device to record video when they on the road. See, that's common. That's common around the United States. A lot of people record on YouTube, like what you see YouTubers do, and people on TikTok record on the road. You can't do that in the state of Georgia. That's against the law. You get a ticket. You get $100 to 150 for 2 points, and then the last one it goes up. You get more convictions. Costs like thousands of dollars. It's a ticket. Use it for electronic device. Blah, blah, blah. Continuously running dash cams are allowed. They'll let you. Okay, let's read this part right here. The we read 1, 2, 3. The fourth part. Let's read this part. We talk about the GPS. Okay, drivers cannot use their phones or electronic devices to record video when they are on the road. But they said continuously running dash cams are allowed. They'll let you have a dash cam. Okay, they can let you have a dash cam. It's legal to have a dash cam in Georgia, but you cannot be filming or recording from the internet data. They don't want you to do that. It's too much distraction. You'll cause a wreck because everybody's constantly moving on the road. Drivers may listen to streaming music that does not include videos on the screen of their phone or devices while driving, but cannot touch their phones while on the road to activate or program any musical streaming app. Streaming music that is controlled by listening through the vehicle's radio is allowed. Drivers need to touch their phones to activate program their music. Streaming apps must be due before getting on the road. And that's what they say. That's the law right here. And then it says the fine for the first conviction is $50. Okay, I was wrong like that. Okay, let's read this again because I read that's like $100 and 2 points for the second conviction. See, it's $100 if it's for the 2 points. The third points and 150 and the 3 points for the three or more conditions, $150 every time. So yeah. So the fine for the first conviction is $50 and 1 point if you get that. It's like a three strikes thing. Assess it against the driver's license. That's the driver. You get 1 point. It's 50. It costs you $50. You can get it. Fine, whatever. You pay the ticket. Then the fine is $100. It's $100 for 2 points for the second conviction. Then the third conviction is $150. Oh, people are gonna manipulate this. I see criminals manipulate this right now. The fines for a second and third offense only apply when the date of the second and third conviction takes place within 24 months of the date of the first conviction. The first time offenders can have the charge dropped by showing the court they have obtained a device that allows them to talk on a phone with hands-free technology or devices. The Hands-Free Georgia Act was signed. The Hands-Free Georgia Act was signed by Governor Nathan Deal when he was the governor on May 2nd, around my birthday, May 2nd, 2018. I was 30 years old. He signed that when I was 30, when I was still in the workplace, and will take it effective July 1st of 2018. And he did that. The Hands-Free Act, like in Georgia. Yeah, that's my birthday. I revealed my birthday, so that's another thing. So it was he did that on my birthday. So yeah, me and Pat McAfee had the same birthday, and Paul George. There's a lot of people having in The Rock and all that. They some wild motherfuckers, but that's all I'm gonna say about that. But yeah, that Georgia Act ain't no joke. If you try to visit here or drive here, you get a $50 fine. It will be dropped. It's a $50 fine in Georgia because that's going to be dropped automatically if you're a first time offender. Now the second time it's $100, and once it's $100, but you got to make sure you comply for the first conviction, and you've done it before. But if you get caught again the second time, it'd be $100. And if you get caught a third time, it's called 150 because 150 equals more, and it's gonna cost you a lot. It's basically a silly ticket, but it's really not a silly ticket. But it's actually common sense. I actually kind of like the law. You just don't have it on at all times. I mean, most cell phones is on. If you have a streaming app, you have to do it before. They say you can't touch your phone while you're driving, but most people don't get. They're gonna manipulate this. It's gonna be a lot of people manipulate this ticket all the time. It's just Georgia wants to restrict people off the cell phones. That's basically what it is. And I think if you're gonna do content creation on car streams, that's not gonna happen. You might as well do it. Do it in a they let you dash cam it. If I was y'all, if y'all do car streams, do not try to do it on the cell phone. But in the state of Georgia, they don't allow that no more. They in other states they may not care for that, but in Georgia, just not able to stream. Like, don't even do it. It's a lot distracting. Yeah, they just passed that. You know, if they catch you, it's a ticket. But usually they don't catch people. You know, it depends on where you at. Now, that's all the state of Georgia. So yeah, I'm 50 minutes in. I'm not gonna go too long. So with that, shalom to the people of Israel and the Gentiles. Until next time, I don't know when I'm gonna be back, but I'm just gonna let y'all know I do these randomly. But this is just to let you know that yeah, they talking about TikTok and all this stuff. They're trying to regulate it or ban it or whatever, or the guy tell them to sell it to somebody, a billionaire, they're gonna regulate it even more. All they're trying to do is just like I told you about that Georgia law with the driving. If you're driving and doing content, you might want to rethink that and don't even think about doing it. You can do it in your house, you can record walking on the street, pay attention to the road. But if you're on a cell phone or a camera, you're better off. You can do what you want. Just do not try to drive and do things. If you're going to record, I recommend just go outside and walk around the block. If you're in a city or if you're in a safe space walking, you're good. If you're not using a car, that's fine. You can record. Most people like to look where they're going. That's why phones, they say, yeah, you can record on the cell phone. But driving aspects in Georgia, they're just doing it for safety reasons. So you know how it is. They trying to say, what's going on, man? Salute. And it just goes to show you that that's what they're doing here. And I understand it's driver safety because a lot of people can't drive here because they're reckless. They have wrecks all the time. So it's a good law in some aspect, but it's not. So, you know. So with that, until next time, I'm signing off and I'm out.